Christy Ward Stamp was sitting in an SUV with her 32-year-old son, waiting for Richard Ward's brother to get out of school in Pueblo West. Richard got restless and got out to take a walk.
He accidentally opened the door to a different but very similar looking white SUV. Richard apologized, he was startled, and immediately got out.
Deputies responded.
Why are you touching my arm, bro? Let go.
Why are you acting like this?
I'm a little nervous because I don't like cops.
Why?
I have anxiety. They've done things to me.
What have they done to you?
Stop resisting when you're not resisting.
When Richard put that anti-anxiety pill in his mouth, Deputy McWhorter went crazy.
What'd you just stick in your mouth? Pill. What's a pill? Let me go. Get out. Get out.
20 seconds later, Richard was dead.
It's been really, really, really horrible. I don't even know who I am anymore, but I'm working on it. That's about it.
His mother and brother were in Denver on Tuesday as their attorneys filed suit against the Pueblo County Sheriff.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about how I'll never get to have another phone conversation with my brother.
They're upset.
It's infuriating.
Upset at what this video shows. Video that doesn't match what the sheriff reports on the scene that day.
Until our deputies arrived, at that point the person jumped out of the vehicle and had immediate contact with our deputies.
And to hear my younger brother, say that other people's parents are reading that story and that other kids in his class are referring to my brother as this intruder and an attacker, and to have him not know how to even deal with that. I want justice and accountability for the people involved.
Tonight, we checked court records, and a judge is allowing a jury trial to go forward connected to a deadly deputy-involved shooting in Pueblo West. Back in February of 2022, Richard Ward was shot outside of Liberty Point International Middle School. This is some video of that incident that we received from the Kilmer Lane law firm in February 2023. The Pueblo County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called out after reports that Ward was banging on car doors outside the middle school. They also said that he tried to disarm one of the deputies. After the shooting, Ward's family filed a federal civil rights wrongful death lawsuit saying that Ward was unarmed and did not present a danger. The 8th Judicial District Attorney's Office ruled the shooting was justified. That trial is expected to start November 3rd.
Judge Ron Israel says the case against Metro Police Sergeant Kevin Menin must move forward. Menin looking quite different in court Monday since he's been in jail. His legal team first tried to get Israel kicked off the case, saying police failed to investigate allegations of abuse from his adult daughter. A second judge heard arguments about it and said Israel should remain on the case. Menin's legal team also filed a motion to stay, meaning his attorneys asked the court to temporarily halt the case. Israel said no.
I see no reason for a stay to prolong what is already almost a year since the first case was filed, being this case. So I'm denying the stay.
In his first case, Menin is accused of creating fake scenarios to arrest people, mainly black men, on the Las Vegas Strip. As a result of that case, Metro Police said they found child sexual abuse material on his devices. Following that second case, police say they learned Menin installed cameras in his private bathroom to secretly watch two family members use the toilet. Now Menin's legal team is taking their argument to the Nevada Supreme Court. Reporting in downtown Las Vegas, Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
And a jury trial is now scheduled for Menin to take place on the 18th of August.
Good morning. Welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m. bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. I really appreciate it. We're starting our day out in Cecil, wherever that is, and we're going to find out what makes them tick. We want to know what is the source of their cider, other than our tax dollars. I think it's their loyalty to their thuggery. Here it says these Cecil police officers are accused of falsifying records for DUI arrest. Oh, loyal to their thuggery, I say. 2 police officers from Washington County have been charged with tampering with evidence, altering police reports, and other violations in connection with the 2018 DUI traffic stop. Well, that's a long time ago. The State Attorney General's office said Cecil Township Officer Sean McNaughton and Sergeant John Holt included false information in police reports in order to avoid charging a drunk driver. Why'd they do that? Driver's not identified in the grand jury indictment, but is referred to as John Doe. A note in the indictment says the statute of limitations is expired on any charges related to the initial traffic stop. Oh, okay. Grand jury report states that the driver's wife called 911, on September 9, 2018, to report that he'd left a social event after consuming alcohol. Just after 4 a.m., McNaughton pulled the driver over for driving without using headlights. Okay, wifey, getting your husband in trouble. What's going on here? According to the grand jury report, at multiple points during the traffic stop, the driver asked police to contact Cecil Township official, who was also not identified in the court records. Oh, why are we even reading this then? McNaughton and Holt. Oh, that's why these two knuckleheads are in trouble. They admit, they've even been indicted. They administered standard sobriety field tests and eventually took the driver into police department for a chemical breath test at 4:51, registered. It doesn't matter. We don't even know who the hell it is. So following the breath test, the driver again asked McNaughton to contact senior township official. According to the grand jury, the telephone records show a 4-minute call was made. Here we go, guys. 5 a.m. to the official from the driver's phone. All right. He got lured in like a typical knucklehead bad apple. Anyways, during the questioning by a special agent from the Attorney General's office, McNaughton said the official requested details of the incident and advised McNaughton that the decision to charge the driver was left to McNaughton's discretion, according to court records. What's the story? Why are these people indicted and getting in trouble? Officer McNaughton said at no point did the township official direct him to charge the driver, who ultimately had his vehicle towed from the site at the traffic stop. He was driven home by Holt. Oh, they're doing that. Grand jury identified several inconsistencies in McNaughton's report, as well as log and edits made in the reports in the computer file. At 4:38, the report was created, listed as a traffic complaint, DUI arrest. And 4:40, McNaughton added that the driver's name to the report. Okay, we'll never get to know. At 5:10, less than 5 minutes after the phone call, the township, McNaughton entered that the incident had been officially cleared at 5:15 a.m. and added the details of the vehicle to the report. He also changed it from a DUI arrest to a warning. Okay, whoa. McNaughton wrote in the report that the driver's breath tests were within the legal limit, and McNaughton suggested the driver have his vehicle towed and accepted a ride home from Holt. What's the big deal? So at 5:48, McNaughton changed the calls cleared from 5:15 to 4:25, directly contradicting the information. Okay, big deal. McNaughton and Holt are both charged with obstructing the administration of law, unsworn falsification to authorities, tampering with evidence, tampering with public records, and a partridge in a pear tree, and those guys are being targeted, I think. Anyways, hey, bad apple's a bad apple's a bad apple. We don't give anybody a break around here. But that's the story on those guys. Let's move on with the show.
Breaking right now at 5, a verdict just into the newsroom in the Mark Dial trial, the former Philadelphia police officer on trial for third-degree murder. I'm Sheba Russell.
And I'm Dawn Timoney. Today marked day 4 in court. Let's get out to our Jeff Cole. Jeff, what can you tell us?
Mark Dial is guilty. The former Philadelphia cop is guilty of voluntary manslaughter, possession of an instrument of crime, reckless endangerment. He is not guilty of the most serious offense he faced. That was murder in the 3rd degree, and also not guilty of official oppression. But Mark Dial, the 29-year-old former Philadelphia cop, charged in the death of Eddie Irizarry in Kensington back in August of 2023, is found guilty today of voluntary manslaughter, possession of an instrument of crime, and reckless endangerment. It appears that in the end, the video of Dial getting out of his vehicle on that August afternoon, racing in front of Irizarry's car and shooting him 6 times within about 6 seconds of arriving on the scene, was simply just too much for the jury of 10 women and 2 men to look away from. Now, after the verdict came down, we heard from his defense attorney. His name is Brian McMonagle. We'll hear from him now.
We've always said that Mark did not intend this to happen. He did not commit a murder. We're disappointed that he's been convicted of anything, and we look forward to sentencing. The jury looked at a lot of different things, and the video being the most important one, and they made a determination of reasonableness. I think they believed convincingly that Mark had no malice, no ill intentions, and they focused on whether or not this happened too quick. But, you know, you'll have to ask them.
And I think there it is right there. It's whether this happened too quickly for the jury to simply acquit Dial on all these charges. Now, we have heard from the family of Eddie Irizarry in the person of his two aunts who came down and said that this is what they were praying for. They believed Eddie Irizarry, the 27-year-old Kensington resident who was driving erratically on that afternoon back in 2023, that drew the attention of two police officers, including Mark Dial. He then pulled over. The officers came and parked parallel to him. Dial crossed in front of his car and shot him, as I said, 6 times. Now, during the trial, what we saw is that Irizarry had a knife with a pistol handle, and that he raised it up. That was caught on the video, the body cam video of the police officers. And Mark Dial, who took the stand in this case, said that he believed that knife was in fact a gun, that it was a barrel of a gun that was pointing at him, and that's why he shot Irizarry. But the family members say tonight that they believe that he had done nothing wrong. He was sitting in the car was locked, the windows were up. There was no need, they believe, for Dial to shoot him and kill him. And tonight they believe that justice in some part has been served. In fact, they're arguing that they believe they have prayed and their answers have been answered here. They believe and want Dial to serve some time in prison, but in many ways, people who thought that they were not served very well by this justice system now believe that they were. Mark Dial, once again, the 29-year-old former Philadelphia cop on the force for just 5 years, has been convicted today by a jury of 10 women and 2 men of voluntary manslaughter, possession of an instrument of crime, and reckless endangerment. He is acquitted on a charge of official oppression and acquitted on the most serious of the charges here, murder in the 3rd degree. He will not face sentencing for that.
Whoa, that intro read really left me hanging. Maybe we can squeeze something out of this article. What do we have here? It says, a Marion County correctional officer is arrested and charged with smuggling contraband into jail. I wonder if it was the Zac Brown band. Why not a blues rock band? You know why? Because everybody loves chicken fried. Columbia, Mississippi, the discovery of an illegal cell phone at the Marion County Jail has led to a correctional officer being charged with smuggling contraband into the prison. Okie dokie, Marion County Sheriff's Office. Major Zach Goodrose said Thursday that 34-year-old Macy Parker of Columbia had been arrested and charged with 1 count of introduction of that contraband and 1 count of conspiracy. Goodrose said her bond had been set at $25,000 during her first appearance and that she had bonded out of jail. Oh, I wonder if she's watching the Bad Apple Report. Okay. Goodrose said Parker has been dismissed from her position. Aw, she can watch it every day now. The trail that led to Parker's arrest started when the inmate was found with a cell phone at the Marion County Regional Correctional Facility, probably listening to the Zac Brown band. An investigation by jail staff discovered that not only the cell phone had been brought into the jail, but the investigation uncovered evidence of other contraband being smuggled into the facility. What? A little Thomas Rhett. Okay. That's funny. Goodrose said investigation eventually led to Parker. Yep. That one chick with the pink cowboy hat and the goofy-looking boots. That was her. The investigation is continuing with Goodrose, and they say there are other arrests that are likely. Okay. All right. The usual suspects. All right. On with the show.
If you're a victim of a crime, you expect the police to help. But Tamia Sims-Irby says they haven't helped her.
It's definitely a nightmare.
Back in 2022, she graduated from high school, moved to Atlanta, and was making a life for herself. That's when 4 men robbed her.
I still have scars from being pistol whipped. It was chaos. It was just too much going on. I was stabbed. I was robbed for a significant amount of money.
They stole thousands of dollars from her and raced back to Greenville. That's when police picked them up and seized the cash. Sims Irby said the men pleaded guilty in the case back in 2023, and she thought she would get her money back. But 3 years later, it's still in lockup at the Greenville Police Department.
I've been dealing with this for 3 years. I'm 21 today. This happened when I was 18 years old.
She can't understand why her money would still be tied up at the police department, so she hired an attorney and filed this lawsuit to get it back. The only problem, even if she does get it back, Sims Irby says she won't get all of her money because of legal fees.
Do you feel like you're being victimized again by the police department?
Yes, because it's like, what is y'all issue? Because why won't y'all just give the money back to me?
Sims Irby tells me she's tried to call the police department over and over again, but has gotten nowhere.
All they're doing is sending me out with a little card, phone numbers on the back. I'm calling. It's hard to reach out. I have to wait days later to get a phone call.
Finally, she says, because they did not want to give the money to the wrong person, she was told to take it to court and get an order from a judge.
Their final solution was file a civil suit. And then when I filed a civil suit, then what?
Fox Carolina Investigates reached out to the Greenville Police Department asking why it's taken so long for the money to be returned, whether the agency believes a court order is needed, and whether it should be on the victim to make that happen. A spokesperson told us the agency would not comment because of the active lawsuit.
It's a unique case.
So we spoke with our legal analyst, Grant Varner, who calls the case complex. He says there are a lot of moving parts at play, but ultimately it comes down to whether Sims Irby can prove the money is actually hers.
Well, the city of Greenville has an issue. Who do they return this cash to? How do they get it back in the hands of the rightful owner? And that's difficult to determine, and certainly the city doesn't want to be liable if they give the money back to Miss Sims Irby only for a couple of weeks later someone else to come along and say, hey, whoa, that was my money and I can prove it.
He says if the police department believes Sims Irby got the money through illegal activity, the agency could have filed an intent to seize the cash, but it's unclear if that happened.
I don't see anything that indicates that's in play here or anyone's trying to seize the money.
Speaking of that money, Sims Irby says whatever she gets will come up short.
With legal fees and trying to get the court involved, now she's going to be losing out on some of the money that originally she says was stolen from her.
I sympathize with her in that aspect. I do not think it's fair that she is going to be penalized trying to recover her funds, right? And it opens a lot of other, the door to a lot of other questions.
Sims Irby also wants to know why the money is even being held at the Greenville Police Department in the first place. The robbery happened in Atlanta. The men were arrested in Greenville, but then sent back to Atlanta to face the charges.
Her question is, why did Greenville hold on to the money if their cases actually played out in Georgia?
That's a good question. It's hard to say why the money wouldn't have been transferred back to property and evidence in Georgia. It's possible Georgia said, we don't need it as evidence in the case, we've got what we need. And it could be the old colloquial hot potato. Nobody wants to deal with it. There's too many questions. It's somebody else's problem.
Either way, it is a problem for Sims Irby. And while these questions likely play out in court, she tells me she's not backing down.
I'm not going to stop till I get my money because I don't feel like I should be funding a police department.
Now that was Scotty Hunter reporting. Now, while the Greenville Police Department would not answer our questions about this case, they do have 30 days to respond to the lawsuit after being served. We do know they were served on May 13th.
Okay, you guys, we have breaking news out of Norfolk, and this deputy who's just been accused. He only appears to be a complete loser, typical sheriff's deputy who allegedly used department employees for work at his home. Oh. Walking through the office, there's a lady typing away, looks at another deputy. Hey, you gonna use that? No, okay, I'll take it. Grabs her like a caveman, throws her in his truck, takes her home. What are you gonna do? She's making him biscuits. It's something like that, I guarantee you. And it says here, the State Ethics Commission found Thomas Brady violated conflict of interest law when he had sheriff's office plumbers do work at his home for free. Okay. Sheriff's office plumbers. Pfft. All right. Well, aren't you cool? Thomas Brady, who served as Assistant Deputy Superintendent of Jail Operations at the Norfolk Sheriff's Office, was initially given a termination notice from the Sheriff's Department last week for failure to meet expectations and standards, according to the station. The Sheriff's Office told NBC News that Brady resigned before the termination could take place. Oh, naturally. The State Ethics Commission Enforcement Division announced last year that Brady violated conflict of interest laws when he approached plumbers working for the Sheriff's Office on 4 occasions. Hey, man. See that plumber's crack? Nice crack you got there. What you doing later? Okay. What you wearing? Obviously not a belt. Just kidding. I'll move on, you guys. I'm trying to have fun here, okay? Anyways, in the interest of the law, he approached those plumbers, and the occasions happened in 2021 and also 2022, and he asked them to do work at his home. State found that the plumbers performed the work, replacing the shower head, replacing the water heater, replacing the boiler circulator pump, largely during their work hours for the sheriff's office. Oh, and they weren't compensated. Pfft, what a jerk. Sheriff's office was also not reimbursed for the time the plumbers were doing the private work for Brady. One of the instances, Brady allegedly gave one of the workers a bottle of wine as compensation. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Lordy. The state investigation found that Brady's superior rank and position at the sheriff's office. Oh, he's a superior, all right. You don't act like that unless you're a superior knucklehead. Okay, the requests were inherently coercive. The Ethics Commission is holding a hearing for Brady's case on May 29th, and he's facing up to 10,000 simoleons for each violation of state ethics laws. A request for comment from the sheriff's office was not immediately returned. Oh, okay. Well, Thomas Brady is a serious bad apple, and he made it on the Bad Apple Report. All right, let's move on with the show.
You know why I pulled you over?
'Cause I was speeding?
No, 'cause you're black. We're supposed to pull people over if they're black. I'm supposed to hit you with this now, okay?
What? No way!
Yes, Ray. Please get on the ground so I can beat you.
No!
Come on, I'm just trying to do my job.
Look, man, you can't go around beating people with clubs.
Well, maybe you can't, but I'm LAPD. I have a quota.
Is it working? No, not this. Me breaking everybody from the fever of being offended. All right. I know that's no real defense for being an irreverent goofball every day. But it's my job to do that just in case these bad apples are watching. I don't want to offend you. But if one of these cops is watching and they're like, man, that makes me happy. But you make me happy. Thanks for being here to watch the Bad Apple Report. I'm going to whip up another batch of bad apples for you, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. bright and early. Have a great day.